Hey guys, this is Drew Gallagher here, and in this video I'm going to show you how I promote my music using YouTube ads and retargeting ads to build my email list. So I'm on the site that I manage my email list, and I use GetResponse as a landing page builder as well as a CRM to collect all these leads or fans. And as you can see, I've been collecting leads every day, a couple each day. I'm only spending I think $12 max on Google a day. It's usually less than that. And what I'm doing is I'm using YouTube ads and I'm driving traffic to a landing page, and I'll show you the landing page. Basically, it's a very simple landing page that collects information for a secret song. So my lead magnet or my offer is my secret song and access to my community and exclusive updates, etc. And it's not even the most flattering image, but it's working, right? And it's converting at about 10% right now, which isn't great, but this is also based on Pinterest traffic that I had from earlier, so it's actually converting really good based specifically on the YouTube traffic. And I'm not spending much to acquire these leads, and it's on cold traffic and retargeted traffic from that initial video. So what I do is I go to Google Ads, and the whole reason I'm talking about Google Ads is because a lot of people say you can only build your brand on Facebook ads, or you can only build it with Instagram ads. It's the best way to do it. Well, I think the writing's on the wall that Facebook and Instagram, and Facebook as a company, is under a lot of fire. And there's a lot going on in the world that is limiting them, and potentially they are going to not have those platforms someday, or they're going to change their policies to where you're not going to be able to do cover songs through ads. You're not going to be able to advertise your brand as easily. It's going to cost you a lot of money. It's going to be saturated, and it's not going to be fun. And I've had this experience with Facebook. I've tried to do a lot of different things, affiliate offers and make money online offers, digital consulting, music offers, and brand awareness. And maybe a few years ago, Facebook was a gold mine, and certainly 5 to 10 years ago, but now it's just a different game. There's a lot of fire on them. They have a lot of policies that have changed, and every day it just seems like the platform is changing to where they don't really want people to run ads on it. So that's why I think it's important as a musician or any brand to find different traffic sources, because at the end of the day, when you become a full marketing student and practitioner with digital marketing, you're going to realize that it's traffic, an offer, leads, and sales at the end of the day. And so your offer is like your freebie, and then you have your product behind that offer, which in this case, as a musician, it can be your music sales, it can be merch, it can be VIP stuff, it can be shows. And you got to maximize your list, whether it's an SMS list, a messenger list, a email list, which is very popular. All these things are assets you own. They're independent of the platform. So it's not to hit on Facebook. Facebook has amazing targeting, but the thing is, Facebook could go away tomorrow, and if you don't have experimentation with other platforms, you could be behind and potentially lose out. So I'm here to show you how to use YouTube. So YouTube is owned by Google, and I run my ads through here, and I have 2 campaigns going right now. I've been running these for about 2 weeks so far. It's been doing really good. I'm getting a lot of clicks. The view rate's really good. They're short videos. Basically, in the video, I just say, hey, pop punk fans, because that's my genre, if you're interested in my free secret song to help you heal your bad wounds from your breakup, or you had a rough time you're going through, this is about a song of healing and rejuvenation. And if you're looking for a sad song to really let out the feels, click the link, sign up for my community, and join these rock fans and VIP access and my free secret song. And then what I do is on my landing page, I drive them straight to that song. So to create the campaign, what I do in Google, I'll go to campaigns and I'll click new campaign. And then what I'll do is pick a goal. So the goal for me right now is leads, because I know that you can do brand awareness. You can get a lot of views for cheap. You can do brand consideration or traffic. A lot of people say the goal doesn't matter. I think as a beginner, it's good to pick the goal because it will pick the right bidding strategy, which does matter. and we'll get you different results based on what you choose. Like if you choose views over clicks, you'll get more views than clicks, and you'll end up spending more potentially to get what you want. So I always choose leads for building the email list, and then I choose video. I'm experimenting with display as well. Search is really good for remarketing once they've already seen you, because most people won't search up a new music brand because they don't know you unless they're searching the genre. And then it's going to drive conversions, and you can set up your conversion tracking. I can make more videos on that if you need help with that, but essentially it's very similar to any search campaign that you do in Google when you set it up. And if you're new to Google, basically, the ad groups, the ad sets, all that stuff, it's very similar to Facebook, and we'll go through that. So you set your campaign name. I'm just going to leave it blank for now. You generally want to put like leads in here and make sure you understand like what you're doing with that campaign. The bidding strategies get kind of confusing. Target CPA is like what you want to acquire somebody for, but the problem is you need a certain amount of conversions to figure that out. So if you set your target CPA too low, it doesn't always do a good job. So I would just do max conversions and try to keep your budget smaller at first, like $5 to $10 for that campaign. And then you set your daily budget. I'm just going to set this at $5. Networks, you want to check off video partners on the display network. These are tons and tons of websites that people aren't necessarily looking for your brand, and they've allowed Google to run ads on their site so they can make money. Search results is good if you're doing a different type of ad, but I'm doing in-stream ads, which are the best for getting people to your website right away. Discovery ads, which is a different type of ad that I can make another video for, is basically like you're trying to get channel engagement and watch time and subscribers. So it is really good for that too, because you can monetize on YouTube and build a brand on there. But we're going to check off video partners on the display network. I always choose United States because that's where I'm from. I choose English. The inventory, you can keep it at standard if you want. If you're doing something like rap music or something that those people are like watching a lot of profane content all the time, then you could do expanded inventory. You'll probably get cheaper clicks and stuff by doing that over time. This is really for brands that want to protect their image more so, like where they're serving the ads. So I would just start with standard and maybe try expanded. I wouldn't do limited because I think you're going to limit yourself too much. You want to go to excluded types and labels. Check these two boxes: enabled YouTube videos or embedded YouTube videos and live streaming videos. You don't want to show your content on those two because they're not going to be as quality. Like live streaming, if somebody's gaming or something, like they're not going to want to watch your ad most likely. Content not yet labeled. You can check that off if you want to. Content suitable for families. If you check this one to not show, it's going to like exclude things like nursery rhymes or kids channels, which the targeting, if you don't do it right, it will show your ads everywhere it can for the cheapest it can. So especially like kids channels where like a kid might be watching it and not really want to click on the ad or something, like you don't want them to be spending your money. So you can check that. And then site link extensions, these are newer, but these are like little buttons that show up below the ad that will increase your CTR, your click-through rate, and it will just get more chances for them to click. I generally add these. You can preview them. It like shows it below. So it's just like more calls to action, which is good. Additional settings. So this is where you can set your frequency capping. Generally, I like to do 5 to 7 impressions a day and 2 a month. This way, it doesn't show the same ad to the same person again and again and again. You want to do frequency capping because otherwise you're going to fatigue users and be wasting too much time on users that might not be as interested. So you want to move to the next user. I would experiment with that over time, not like on a day-to-day, but maybe like week to week or campaign to campaign. Eligible devices, I usually turn off TV screens because if it's an actual TV screen, they can't click or anything as easily, and they probably won't. So if you're driving actions, then this isn't good. For brand awareness, it's probably fine. Ad schedule, you can work on that later. I wouldn't worry about it right now. This is a new thing. You want to choose standard because you need to have just like the standard ad. If you do responsive, it's going to show in a lot of different formats, which is nice for ease of like repurposing. But the problem is it shows on areas you wouldn't want it to per se, and you can't really track it. So I would start with standard for this. Now this is the important part for the music stuff. So you want to do your targeting, and this is like your ad group, which is like your ad set. You can name that accordingly. You can divide it. I generally like to do different campaigns for different targeting because Google doesn't let you manage the ad spend at the ad group level. So that is one difference between Facebook, and I would just try to do more campaigns with less budget and split them up that way. For demographics, unknown means they're like not logged in to YouTube and they don't really know where they're coming from, but there's a lot of those people. In Facebook, you have to be logged in, which is an advantage for the targeting tracking, but at the same time, like, a lot more people can watch the YouTube stuff and could be potentially your audience. So I would just leave this wide open unless you know, like, for instance, I don't want people at my concerts that are 55 to 65 and older because it's punk rock music that is just like really fast and, you know, really new pop punk stuff, and that just isn't my demographic, and I don't really represent those people. Household income, I don't really care how much you make. You know, music's music. Unless you're really thinking about like VIP stuff and you're trying to market to people that want VIP experiences, then I would worry about this. Parental status doesn't really matter to me. Gender doesn't really matter to me. I mean, for punk rock, it's probably mostly male, but I've seen plenty of girls go to punk rock shows. So I'm just going to leave that. You can test it and see how it goes. So these two sections are the most complex and the most powerful. So you have your audiences and you have your content. And basically the way to think of this is audiences is where you are targeting like the interests or the search terms that people are looking up in Google, or like basically it's behavioral targeting. And then content is like contextual, meaning where are those ads showing? And basically this helps you narrow your reach, and you're doing this layering, meaning you can put your audience, let's say pop punk fans, and you can layer it to show only on pop punk videos or music videos in general. That way, you're really making it like in the moment, like they're listening to music and it's on a music video and they're already interested in it, so it's like, oh, this is the perfect time, you know, for that person to act, or the most likely time. I would say test this because you don't know. Maybe somebody would convert better if they're watching, you know, a soap opera or something. You know, you kind of have to test it out and see where your videos are placing. But I generally like to go into audiences, and I'll go more into this in a second. But basically, there's all different types of audiences. So here's the breakdown on these audiences. So basically, you have your custom audiences, your in-market audiences, your remarketing and similar audiences, detailed demographics, your affinity, which is just like regular affinity, and combined audiences. So that's a lot to take in, and we can go through each one. So basically, your custom audiences are audiences that you create based on search terms or behavior on websites. So if you go to the add button, this is where you can say like pop punk fans, and I would say like these are people that have been searching like pop punk music, and that's going to give me an estimate of the people that have been searching that on Google, and it's going to show you the breakdown and the number of impressions expected. And this is really good for like people that are, you know, looking stuff up. They've been searching these terms. If you do the top one, which is usually a custom affinity versus a custom intent. Custom affinity means like they're interested loosely, but they're still interested in that topic. It does say purchase intentions, but I wouldn't do that if you're trying to do purchases. I would do the bottom one. Custom intent means they have more of an intention to do it. This used to be different, but they changed it recently, so they mapped them like that. So custom affinity is the top one, custom intent's the bottom. But you can still use like the top one. Like I often will like type in like pop punk for custom affinity. It's more broad. I would test these two. So do pop punk versus you know, on custom affinity versus the custom intent. So you create different audiences, and then you can check the boxes for those and put them in there. You can also do websites. I think this is powerful. So I can type like in like Blink-182's website and say anybody who's visiting sites similar to Blink-182, those are the people I want. Yeah, so for these audiences, like the websites, I like to try different band websites like Blink-182, All Time Low, Neck Deep, all the bands that are similar. I wouldn't put them all in one because then you can't test them. It's not going to tell you like which ones are performing the best, because these aren't placements, which I'll go into later, but basically it's just putting them all in this one custom audience. So I would create a new custom audience for each one. So like if it was the Blink-182 one, then I would do Blink-182. And I would do the same thing with the terms. Like I would cancel this for the remove keywords, and I would just call this like the Blink-182 audience. Now I think I already have one of these, but essentially I would just click save audience and then it would save it. The other thing you can do is you can look up like certain places or apps. So you could try like musical instruments and stores. I was going to try Warped Tour. I've never used this one, but you can do like concerts. That'd be good. So like music venues or concert halls, stuff like that. And it will tell you with these question marks like what they're about. So if they spend time at that, who go to concerts. I would try to do something more custom. I would say like Warped Tour or something for that, like for my audience, because they're not just going to concerts for pop punk. Like, I mean, they go to concerts, but they also go to pop punk events specifically, or like punk rock or rock and roll, like Warped Tour, or they do like emo night is a big one. So like I would find the website for emo night and then put that on there, or try to find interest for emo night, or search terms, which would be really, really good. And that's what I would do for those audiences. These are super powerful. I use these custom audiences religiously, and I highly recommend them. So if we go back to audiences, here's all the custom audiences. So I have one for like greenday.com, which is really good because my audience resonates with Green Day for my music and my look, I think. But I have different ones like sad music. I even picked specific ones for certain artists if I'm doing covers or retargeting as well. Like All Time Low website, Angels and Airwaves. So these are all bands that I think I sound like and or have been influenced by, and that people would like my music. So I would pick those and test them just like you would with interests and different ad sets. You can do it at the campaign level and just create a new campaign for each one and spend $1 or $2 on each so you can test them. Or you can create different ad sets and ad groups. You can't control the spending at the ad group level, so I would just try to create maybe an audience for each campaign, or try to do a couple and then maybe see if you can consult with Google Ads and figure out the best way to test those. But yeah, I think at the campaign level, it's the best. You can always pause audiences too. So if it spends on one and you want to pause it and then try a different one, you can do that. That's another way to do it. So detailed demographics, you can actually pick based on like lifestyle. So like their parental status, marital status, education, home ownership, employment, which can be really powerful depending on, what kind of music you're doing or like what you're trying to market for. So like I think marital status would be good, maybe education. So like if you're doing like younger people, you could do education, homeowner status. Again, it's like the age of the people. So that could help you. I don't think that's going to be the biggest difference maker here, but I do think it can help. Then you have your in-market and life events. These are super powerful. These are probably more powerful. So like in-market basically means they're in the market to buy something. So if you're trying to sell concert tickets, you can go under these and you can find like event tickets and choose this. So they're like in-market. And so you can find people that are looking to buy tickets for a concert. So let's say you build this huge audience of people that have watched your videos. You could narrow that audience then with people that are specifically in market to buy concert tickets. Or you can just do it at the beginning. Let's say you're trying to do a live virtual concert or a live, in-person concert. You can start here. There's people at all different levels of the funnel. There's people that are ready to buy now. There's people that are, you need to kind of build them up and move them through the funnel, through audiences. So it really just depends. I would test it. I don't think there's a one-size-fit-all thing. But if you're trying to do like a festival sale or something, definitely use these to your advantage to narrow the audience. Same thing like if you're trying to sell like beats or something, you can do like, some of these like musical instruments or like things like that because they're in the market to buy those. That's where those custom intent audiences are really powerful because they're actually searching that on Google. So that's like the in-market on steroids type of thing. So that's really good. In life events, if you're writing a song about, like somebody getting married or something, or like something happened to them, they're having a child, like that would be good because you're appealing to those people. Graduation, job changes, a new pet. So they're always adding new ones here. Business creation, probably not super applicable, but you could try that one if you wanted to. So then you have your similar and remarketing audiences. So this is kind of like the lookalike audiences for Facebook. From what I've read, the lookalikes are probably better on Facebook. It's just because they have more data. They're always going to have more data for a while until Google, collects more data. So that doesn't mean you shouldn't use Google. It just means that, like, on average, Facebook's had more data that they've been collecting. So they might be more accurate, but that just means it might take more time to optimize or find what you want. But from my experience, this has been really good because you can do similar people that have visited your website. This is my lander or landing page. Similar to people who have watched and didn't subscribe yet. I just don't think it's big enough yet, but like I have an audience for that. So you can create audiences based on who subscribed to your channel, which is a little different than Facebook. Like you can probably do that for the Facebook likes and stuff like that, and maybe groups. They might have changed that though, but like this is powerful because like if people are subscribed to your channel, you can find people that are just like your subscribers and then run ads to go get those people back to your page or to run brand awareness and then retarget to get them to take action. And these are going to be similar to your best fans, which are your subscribers and people who are watching your videos. So like YouTube users, I have my subscribers, which I don't have a massive channel yet, but that will grow over time. People have viewed my music ads, which is great for remarketing. And a view on YouTube is 30 seconds. So that's really good. That's a quality view. So when you're remarketing these people, that's way better than like a Facebook or any other platform. They're all like 2 or 3 seconds. YouTube is like 30, which is really good. Watch certain ads, watch them organically. So I just have all these little audiences. You can do it on a case-to-case basis. Website visitors is great if you're trying to remarket to people who have viewed your website, do display ads, which is another way you can either build brand awareness or retarget. And so you just have all these lists, combined lists. You can combine things, so you can like create a combination of people who have watched all your videos and haven't subscribed, and that's how you get these powerful targeted audiences. I would play around with these. Definitely you want to use the remarketing audiences because anybody who's seen you more than once and engaged is more likely to engage with you again. It's a lot easier to take an existing audience member or potentially a customer or fan and market to them than acquiring a new one. And it takes an average of 7 to 14 touch points, probably at the latter end nowadays, to actually get somebody to buy and or buy into you. So the more you can appeal to somebody that's already seen you, the better. And so what you want to do is use those audiences. Google will create new custom Affinity audiences and custom audiences. So I'm trying to see if they've done any for me in here. I know I did this guitar videos and like cover songs. I'm pretty sure like people who watch things about cover songs. I would just say let the data come in and they'll create that for you. They'll also create the similar audiences for you as well once it has enough data, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to do that on your own. But for this, I would select generally I do the website audiences. There's custom audiences they create, like this one, like metalheads. If I was a metal artist, they try to guess. Sometimes you don't know, like nightlife enthusiasts, trips to Charlotte. Like these are all really specific things, and it's just showing kind of like what my audience likes. So like maybe the similar people, subscribers, viewed my music ads, YouTube viewers. Sometimes it says that you'll probably get little to no impressions. That's just them trying to get you to go more broad. It's not always true. Same thing with audience expansion. Check this off at first because you want to be as narrow as possible at the beginning, and then you can expand it. You can always check it back on. So then the second massive section is this content section. I don't think it's as massive, but basically this is where you narrow based on what content people are watching. So like you can do keywords, which is like what people are actually typing into YouTube. So like you can get ideas here. You could say like pop punk music, and it will give you all these things like keywords. So this is going to narrow. So they're only going to see your ads when they've been searching keywords like this on YouTube specifically in the search bar. This is really good for discovery ads because like they're discovering you via the search bar. So if they're looking at pop punk music, you can put an ad there, or rock music or new cover song or something. You want to generally do broad and don't do a ton of keywords here at first, and you can turn these on and off as well. And then you can also do like related websites, which is pretty cool, and get some keyword ideas. That's really good when you want to get contextual targeting. I would definitely layer these. I would do both at the same time. Just don't go too crazy because then your impressions will go way down. The other thing you want to do is you want to do topics. I do this all the time. This is what I've been doing with my campaign. So I go into topics and layer it. I wouldn't do topics on its own because it's not granular enough, but like you can look up music. These are like general topics people are watching. And I like to go to the genres. So I like to say, okay, if you're watching punk related content and indie and alternative music for me, that's great. Maybe even concert content. So now my video is only going to show up for people that are watching that type of content. See how it's narrowing quite a bit. I also selected niche audiences above, so that's why it's doing that. And then the most granular form of targeting would be placements. So you can place your video on channels and videos. This is great for like businesses that are looking up like how to make money online, how to build a tree house, how to get insurance. Like those are queries. For music, it's a little different. You might be able to do it by genre, or like for example, I would put my videos on neck deep sweat like videos, or like, and when I say put it on the videos, like run in front of them, like as a pre-roll ad, during or before the video, and you could do that with different bands or artists. It is contextual because it's music, but at the same time, they might just skip because they want the other one to watch. So if you're gonna do placements, you can try. I would try it, but then also try like cover songs of that exact band of that exact song. So like I could look up "Damn It" by Blink-182 because that's like a big video that gets a lot of views, and I would look up every video that's "Damn It," all the lyrics, all the lessons, and I would just check all of these. You want to do 500,000 placements, tons of placements. There's a bunch of tools. I can make videos on how to find those placements. You don't want to do it manually. It takes too long. But you just check a bunch of these, and you'll see like how many impressions you'll get. But this, you definitely want to have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, because even though a video might have millions of views, it's not getting millions of views that day necessarily. So then do like a cover of that song in front of it. It would be amazing if you did like "Damn It" covers, for example, and then I could put a song in front of that that's my cover of "Damn It." And then the first 5 seconds before they can skip, say, hey, this is an amazing cover of "Damn It. You don't want to miss it. Stick around." And then just go into the song. That's a great way to get attention contextually and say, this is what this is about. So you can check the placements. I would do that. I would experiment, create a campaign for all these different types and test it. Don't do it all at once. If you have a small budget, I would start with topics and layer that on top of the audiences. The audiences is where you're going to get your really niche stuff. Definitely use the custom affinity and custom intent audiences. Maybe some of the life event stuff. And then layer that with contextually, like what do you think people would like to be watching when they see that ad? Then you're going to put your YouTube video. So you got to upload the video to YouTube. So like this is one of my videos. It's like a Joe Rogan tribute song. You select your ad format for this type. It's only in-stream. I can make another video for the discovery ads. You'll put your URL, which is your landing page. You'll put the same thing here for display URL, what you want to show up. I would put your call to action, like sign up. Try to match your landing page. It's all about matching it all the way through. So if it says sign up on your page, put that. If it says download, put download. Your headline can say, free song. Whatever your offer is the freebie that's getting people to the site. Free Spotify stream, whatever it is. Ad URL stuff, you can add some stuff to say like where the ad came from. You can also do this in the UTM tracking and the URL. And then you can upload an image. So a companion banner is like when you watch an ad and then shows up like on the top right or below the video. So after you've skipped it or whatever, it's another way to get a click. I would just auto-generate it. But that's pretty much it. I'll be making more videos. Hopefully this helped you learn how to create YouTube ads for your music videos. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button so more people can see it. Jump on that subscribe button and slap that notification bell so you don't miss a single video from me on how to make more money online and live a happier life. There's a video right after this one, so stay tuned for that. Peace out for now.